Hey there, my name's Dawn Rowley. I'm a therapist and coach, and today I'd like to share with you some wisdom if you are looking to overcome any type of addictive or compulsive behaviour. So I'm talking about things like alcohol abuse, substance abuse, gambling addiction, overeating, shopping addiction, pornography addiction. Traditionally, with these types of problems, it's all about using our willpower to not do the behaviour, to hold ourselves back and to have some control in our mind over the behaviour. But in practice, that doesn't work very well because willpower is a function of the conscious mind. And your addictive behavior is something that you've learnt now. It's something that's been programmed into your brain, and it's now a function of your unconscious mind. And therefore, you will have a thought, someone will say something, or some type of event will happen in the real world, and it will trigger this little program in your brain to run. And you're going to find yourself reaching for that habit, for that substance, for that alcohol, for your phone to order something, whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of talk you through some things that I think will be helpful for you, to make it really easy for you to move past that behaviour. So the first one is, from a psychological point of view, one thing that we realise is that human beings cannot consistently behave in a way that is inconsistent with their self-image. In other words, if we believe that we're a loser, we are likely to consistently behave in a way that proves us to be a loser. If we believe that we're not lovable, then we might meet people who are also unlovable, that don't know how to love us. They might be people that try to control us. They might be people that cheat on us. They might be people that withdraw from us with drug, alcohol abuse, or depression. They might pick arguments with us, but in some way they are quite difficult to have a relationship with. We might meet somebody that's not like that at all, somebody that is perfect for us. However, we might then find ourselves pushing them away with our behaviours being like that. So we might be the one that cheats on them. We might be the one that pushes them away by picking arguments. And we're either doing this usually to protect ourselves from hurt. It's like, if I don't get too invested in you, you can't hurt me. Or it might be us proving, I don't know what you're with me for, I'm not good enough for you. Or alternatively, we might just hide away from people and we might decide, I'm okay on myself, I don't need somebody in my life, and kind of withdraw from people in a way. If we believe we're stupid, then we might keep doing stupid things in life. Or we might not put ourselves forward for things. So we might hold ourselves back a lot because we think we're stupid. Or we might be a perpetual student. We might keep chasing one certificate after the next, and never actually doing anything with all this information that we're learning because we still don't believe that we've got enough knowledge to do a good job. So how we see ourselves is how we do everything, really. And in some way, your compulsive or addictive behaviour might be proving to you what it is you believe about yourself. So it's really important that you take a good look at how you see yourself, what your self-image is, and examine what it is that you actually believe about yourself. Do you have some kind of underlying fear that you're not good enough? And if so, what is the belief that underpins that, and where did it come from? Because you weren't born with that belief. You've either got it through some kind of misunderstanding, or somebody else has placed that belief on you. If you were always told that you were bad as a child or stupid, then you might grow up with the belief that you're bad or stupid. Or if you didn't have very nurturing parents, a very loving background, then you might grow up believing that you're not lovable. So what is it that you believe about yourself? Where did it come from? Examine that. Just because you've always believed it doesn't have to still be a belief now. You can examine it. You can decide for yourself, I don't need to believe that anymore, and put in place a more productive belief system. The second thing that I want you to look at is peer support. Sometimes we're not surrounded by the right people. And this is why things like AA and local support groups for addiction can be really helpful. I do believe in peer support. I do believe it's really helpful. Those that know me will know that I used to struggle with my drinking, or they may not realise that I struggled with my drinking, but I did struggle with my drinking. I had a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol for many years. And when I finally decided to stop drinking, I joined an online peer support group, and I found it really helpful. And it just helps to put you into a place with other people that are kind of think along the same sort of lines as you. My friends couldn't really understand why I wanted to stop drinking. So they weren't particularly supportive in that sense. They were supportive, but not in that kind of sense. They were just like, oh, just have a drink, it's fine. And they didn't really understand what the issue was. Because, I hadn't hit rock bottom. I wasn't living on the streets or anything like that. So for them, they all like a good drink. So they didn't really see a problem in me drinking, and were more supportive of me drinking and of me not drinking. So joining an online support group for other people that were trying to stop drinking was really helpful for me. And then the third thing, and probably one of the most important things as I see it, is what is your behaviour doing for you? People will come to me and they'll say, I need help for my drinking, or I need help for my cocaine issue, or my pornography addiction, or whatever it is that they come to me with. And I say, what is it that it does for you? And I say, well, it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing for me. It's ruining my life. And of course, at a conscious level, they don't believe it's doing something for them. But I know that at an unconscious level, it must be doing something for them. It must be changing the way they feel in some way. It might be pushing down old traumas that they don't want to bring to the surface. It might be helping them to ease an anxiety that they've got. And that anxiety, again, is probably going to be caused by the way they see themselves. So in some way, that behaviour will be helping them. My drinking really stemmed from not feeling very good about myself, having a really low self-image. And of course, the drinking became an answer to my problem, because I didn't like being around people. I felt very judged by people. So I was almost kind of socially inept, because I was scared to open my mouth, scared I'd say the wrong thing. And drinking helped me to become sociable. If I didn't drink, maybe I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't have had a very good life, because I would have hidden myself away. I would have become more and more reclusive. But drinking helped me. I got a job behind the bar when I was younger, and it helped me to socialise. It helped me to come out of my shell a little bit. And it seemed at the time like the perfect solution. Of course, it wasn't the perfect solution, but at the time it did help me. And, and I realised at the time that was the best way I knew to deal with my problem. But many, many years later, I'd sorted out my self-worth issues. I no longer had anxiety. I was really a very peaceful person. I am a very peaceful person. I don't get anxiety at all. But I still carried on drinking way too heavily. And I couldn't really understand why I still did it. And so I decided, right, I'm going to sort this problem out now, because it doesn't fit my self-image. It doesn't fit who I am now. It doesn't fit who I am as a therapist. It's quite frankly embarrassing when you work with people and you get somebody coming with wanting help for their alcohol and realising that you actually drink more than them. So I knew I had to work on this. I knew that actually I had to take my own advice, and I got to work on it. So I decided one day I'm going to take myself into a meditative state today, and I'm going to ask the part of me that likes to drink, What do you do for me? And I kept getting a thought back. And the thought that kept coming back to me in this meditative state was, it's how you connect with your partner and friends. And of course I thought to myself, nah, that's not right. I've been with my partner for 25 years. I don't need to drink to be around my friends. That's not the case. So the next day I took myself back into that meditative state. I asked the same question and I got the same thought back. It's how you connect with your partner and friends. I'm thinking, that can't be right. It must be something else. I repeated the exercise every day for a week. And at the end of the week, I've still got the same thought coming back. It's how you connect with your partner and friends. So I thought about it and I thought, how can that be true? And I really searched for a moment and I thought, maybe that could be what it is, because at some point a few years prior to that, I set myself a target of not drinking for 3 months. It took all of my willpower, but I managed not to drink for 3 months. But during that time, when we went to the pub, when we socialised with our friends, I'd say to my partner after a few drinks, we'll go after this one. And I'd say, well, can't we just stay for one more? And I'd say, right, one more and then we're going. And of course, I thought about this and I thought, that's what it is. I was dragging us away from our friends. And also I was kind of ruining my relationship with my partner, because I was saying to him, well, I'm not drinking, so I don't want you to drink. Come back with me. And I thought, right, okay, I can put a better strategy in place. My new strategy will be to train my taste buds to like alcohol-free drinks. I didn't like the taste of them at the time, but I thought, I'm pretty sure if I sample something enough times, just like a baby does, I'm going to learn to like the taste of it. So that's what I did. And eventually, I don't mind the taste of alcohol-free beers now. In actual fact, I don't like the taste of alcohol anymore. So that's what I did. And that worked quite well. But over the next 2 or 3 weeks, something else occurred to me. It's almost like I'd opened up this kind of portal in my mind. And I started to think that actually my partner and I didn't really do anything together anymore. And actually the only thing that we ever did together was when I came home from work in the evening, we'd sit and have a drink together. And of course, now I wasn't drinking in the evening, I was realising there was something missing. So actually this would be a danger point usually, where people might slip back into their drinking habit. But for me, I thought, I had this kind of like thought in my head, this light bulb moment. That's what the problem is. We don't do anything together anymore. And I thought about it and I thought, why don't we do anything together anymore? And I thought it's because I worked such long hours. My therapy business was thriving. I was working till 8 o'clock every evening. And I was working all day Saturday as well. And I thought, we don't do anything together anymore. We don't really go out very often together anymore. And I thought, that's what it is. The only thing we do together now is have a drink together on the settee in the evening when I come home from work at a late time. And so I realised something had to change there. There had to be more balance between work and my relationship. And so I cut my hours down. I don't work as many hours now. And I make more time for my partner. And so more typically now, if it's a Friday night, we might go out together as a couple, or we might go out and meet friends, and we might go out and have a meal, have a few drinks. It's great now because I don't drink. I can drive out into the countryside. We can go to a really nice pub, have a change of scenery, and I can drive us all back because I'm not drinking. So it's fantastic. But I spend more time with him and our friends now. We still socialise at the pub. And that's what we do. That's where our friends like to go as well. But I don't feel the need to drink anymore. Why would I? It doesn't do anything for me anymore. I can still do all the things that I used to do and not drink. And I've made time now for my partner and friends. So I make time. I usually have a Tuesday afternoon off work, for example, and we go to the pub. We have a game of bingo with friends. I don't drink. They drink. I don't drink. I arrange more little mini breaks, more little holidays with my partner, so we spend more time together. So I've got better strategies in place, and consequently I haven't drunk for several years now. I don't need to drink. I can be around alcohol. I never ever feel tempted. I can think about alcohol. It's not a threat anymore. I remember setting the dinner table the first Christmas after I stopped drinking, putting the wine glass out and thinking, oh, what am I going to drink? And I thought, well, I could have a glass of wine because it's Christmas. Then thinking, why would I have a glass of wine? And I thought, yeah, true. Why would I have a glass of wine? I don't even like wine much. I could have a gin and tonic then. And I'm thinking, well, why would I have a gin and tonic? And thinking, good question. Why would I have a gin and tonic? If I don't drink, what's the point of it? And I thought, yeah, there is no point. And realising I could just have an alcohol-free gin and tonic. Or I could have had a glass of water. It wouldn't make any difference. I could have had a mug of tea. It wouldn't make any difference. I didn't have to drink anymore. So it's kind of like even the thought of drinking now is not a threat in my mind. It's just straight away. Yeah, the thought came into my head and it's like, yeah, I don't want to. And it's that simple. It's not any hardship. I don't have to fight it. In fact, I rarely think about drinking now. I don't even like the taste of alcohol. If somebody passes me a drink, and in error they've got me a drink that is alcoholic instead of non-alcoholic, and I went to drink it, I just go, oh, it's got alcohol in straight away. I don't like the taste. It's like it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. So I know that I will never go back to drinking. And I truly believe it's because I've looked at these three principles. First of all, my identity. I've changed the way I see myself. I've looked at what it is I believe about myself. The second thing is I used a peer group for a short time. It was really helpful. I suggest you do too. The people around you may well indulge in the same behaviours as you. They're not necessarily going to be that supportive of you changing. And the third one is to really get curious about what is it that thing's doing for you. Are you trying to avoid feeling a certain way? Are you trying to avoid thinking about things that need your attention, that maybe you are fearful of, that, or maybe that you think you can't sort out? So to that end, I have a hypnosis recording called Get Curious, and it's designed to help you to overcome any type of addictive or compulsive behaviour by getting curious about what it is that behaviour is actually doing for you. Just to open up your mind, just to get you to start thinking in a slightly different way about your problem so you can overcome it once and for all. So take some time to listen to it frequently and enjoy.